It's crazy. Feel like these 6 weeks went really fast. Made it to the last week.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Well, we will get going with our final class today. And this is all about bringing in some of the gems from the last 5 weeks. And we'll have time to dip in a little longer to some of our practices today. And we'll also have time to discuss ways that you can sustain this practice. Because, after this 6 weeks, what are some ways that you can keep cultivating mindfulness activities and navigating your needs and knowing, like Julie so wonderfully always shares, that this is not the Band-Aid, but there are tools, these mindful steps, and hopefully giving you a sense of support and belonging and stability and courage and confidence that that within any moment, that you'll have something in your back pocket, whether it's that reminder of an amazing body scan Laurel did, and you take a moment, just scan through, or you want to get up and do some 6 movements, or take a moment and place a hand at your heart and send compassion to self and others. That there are many ways you can bring in these mindfulness snacks to support you, to nourish you, and also build connectivity and relationships with those you serve, your family, your community, your coworkers, your patients, all that. So with all that said, so we can start diving in, let's start with our minute of mindfulness. So find a comfortable seat for you. I'm pulling up my stopwatch so I can keep time. As you find a comfortable seat, landing your energy into your hips, down through your legs, notice your feet to the floor. And from that sense of rootedness, any amount, start to feel that graceful lift up through your body, through your spine, to the top of your head. Maybe a little ease in your face. Eyes could stay soft. Or let your eyes close for this moment of mindfulness. And I'll be quiet now so you can settle in here for you. As you are, just as you are, if you'd like to take one hand to the center of your chest and one hand into that upper belly, the center of your belly. And from this time to settle in and check in with you, start to bring a little more attention into your breathing body. We'll start our segments of activities today with movement and a breathing practices. I'll be weaving in a few different postures and breathing techniques that we've explored through the past 5 weeks, bringing in a refresher and also just a well-rounded afternoon movement practice for you. Here, with the hand at center of the chest, center of belly, start to notice the natural movement that's already occurring. We can create big shapes. We can stretch and move in different ways. We can also recognize in simplicity that the breath provides movement that we may need. Nothing to overdo, nothing to force. Sense how the breath shape changes, noticing when you inhale, the belly, ribs, and chest will naturally expand a little or a lot. And as the tide turns into an exhale, chest, ribs, belly soften closer to home towards your center. Inhale begins again. Sense that natural expansion for you. Nothing to make big, it's already occurring. Exhale, release your breath. Notice how the body settles back closer to home, a softening of chest, ribs, belly. Stay with this 3 more breaths. We call this the complete breath or 3-part breath. It's one of those foundational back pocket techniques you can tap into. Last breath here. Inhale, comfortably full belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, release, noticing the settling chest, ribs, belly. Next breath in. If eyes were closed, start to blink them open. You can release your hands and invite your arms and hands way up high. Give yourself an awakening stretch. And then let that be. Arms can drop. Give yourself a shake out. I'm going to shift my position. And please join me in standing if you'd like to stand for our 6 movements of the spine. Or if you're more comfortable today staying in a seated shape, feel free to stay in your chair. Now, greeting your mountain pose here, and real quick, in case we get jumped around, I'll spotlight for everyone. There we go. Hello. Starting in your mountain pose, landing into the space, press into your feet, and then from the feet, grow tall into your mountain. We start with that flowing cat-cow exercise, bringing your hands together in front, turn your palms away. As you breathe out, soften your knees, round your back, reach your arms forward. And as you inhale, press down into your feet, stand tall, hands rest to the front of your shoulders as you lift up a little or a lot. Exhale, reach forward with your arms, round your back gently, soften the knees. Inhale, stand long and strong up through the legs as you open up across your chest. 2 more. Exhale, go at your pace and tempo. Inhale, stand tall, gently open, standing cow. Last one. Exhale, standing cat pose, reach. Inhale, standing cow, open up. Exhale, return back to your neutral mountain. Okay. Invite your right hand to rest at the center of your belly. Left arm, reach tall to the ceiling. Lean a little or a lot to the right. Maybe even slide your right hand over to that left side, noticing new space, waking up. Enjoy a breath in. Inhale, breathe into the left side. Exhale, soften and settle. Inhale, come on up. Left hand will come to the belly now. Right arm, reach it tall to your ceiling. Lean a little or a lot. Navigate the shape for you. Perhaps slide that left hand over just a little bit. Feel the body waking up on the right side. Breathe into that. Exhale, settle and soften. Inhale all the way up. Both arms can release. Maybe a moment to shake that out or roll your shoulders before we invite in some rotation. To set up for the last little bit of the 6 movements of the spine, adding in rotation, step slightly forward with your left foot, slightly back with your right foot. Right hand can rest to your belly as you invite the left arm behind you. Start to turn to the left. The whole trunk starts to navigate rotation. Press through your feet, steady your legs. Gaze over towards the left and even invite in a sense of release into your jaw and your neck. And now start to unwind your twist, arms rest by your side, and we'll invite that to the other side. Right foot steps forward just a little, left foot back a little, left hand to the belly, right arm wraps to the lower back. Press through your feet as you invite rotation. And you might even notice this rotation moving up from the left hip up to the right shoulder, gently twisting through the spine. Relax your jaw, your neck. Sense one more breath in your pose. And now release it out. Stepping back into your mountain pose. From mountain, going back to about the second week where we explored standing postures, waking up leg energy. Step your feet comfortably wide for horse stance. And then turn your toes out. If you had a big clock on the ground, the toes would be out about 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. Bend your knees slightly, or if you want a little more bend, you could lower the hips, knees bend over the feet. Right? Invite your hands to heart center. As you settle into the shape of your legs, we'll add in our breath of courage to hold ourselves up here. Breath of courage, Ujjayi breath, uses that kind of soft, vocal, whispering sound. So now here, hands at heart center. Inhale through the nose, reach your arms way out wide. And as you exhale, exhale like a sigh, H-A. Bring your hands back to heart center. 3 more times. Inhale through the nose, comfortably full stretch through the arms. Exhale. Inhale, reach wide. Exhale. Inhale wide. Exhale. Hands can stay at heart center. Straighten your legs. Enjoy that sense of release, legs shimmering. And now turn your legs more to neutral. Setting up for your warrior 2. Warrior 2, right leg is going to turn all the way to the right. Toes will point off to the right. Start to bend into your right knee until you feel that weight of stacking down for your shin and your right foot. Now invite those arms way out wide as you just did. Turn your gaze, look over your right hand. Feel this quality of like settling strong, affirming your place in this space. And also feeling that gracefully tall lift through the spine and wide up through the arms. 2 more breaths. Look over your right hand. And when you're ready, hands come back to heart center. Right leg will straighten so you can shift with care, adjusting your legs, adjusting your feet. Left toes are going to face straight off to the left. Right foot turns more neutral. Bend into the left knee, and as you bend in, start to sense that shift, grounding down, shin to left foot, and then also press back into your right foot. Arms sweep out wide. Turn your gaze to your left hand. Sense the legs, feet holding you up. Add in a bit of courage to stand a little taller. Reach through arms, look out over your left fingers. Breathing, fluid through the body. And on your next exhale, hands come to heart center. Straighten your left leg. Legs come back to neutral. And give yourself a little tick-tock walk in. Both feet back to mountain pose. Settle in mountain, gathering that sense after wide-legged shapes, a quality of neutral, hips down to feet. And now we'll play a little challenging experience of moving into balance. Press down into your left foot, left leg. And now with your right leg, lift it any bit and invite the right knee out. You could leave the right toes down, or the right foot can slide up the inner line of the left leg. An option with your hands today, right hand to your belly, left hand to center of the chest. When we face a little challenge, whether it's an easy one, or maybe we're being met with a little more challenge, awakening a little more stress that we might need to accommodate that challenge, we also want to bring in kindness and care and compassion. So patience with yourself. 3 more breaths. Wobble, fall out if you need to. Steady, 1 last breath. Arms can release, right foot will release. Maybe a little shake out. Thank you, left leg. And we'll shift that to the other side. This time, right foot, right leg, ground down into your leg. Bring your left foot up a little or a lot. Invite that left knee open. Toes touch the earth. Kickstand your leg, or invite your leg to plant on the inside of that right leg. And this time, right hand to center up the chest, left hand to your belly. Soft gaze in front of you. Body breathing as you move in and out of balance with kindness and care. Self-talk shifting from I can't to I can. I can balance. I can come in and out of balance, and it's all good. Last breath here. Start to release your arms, release your left foot, a little shake out of that right leg. Thank you, right leg. All right, from standing, let's take a seat. A couple chair postures to wind out our practice today. So finding a seat in a chair. You'll also want to be near a table or a desk, and we'll use that. Last week we did some restorative shapes. All right, as you take your seat in your chair, sit a little on the edge so you can really plant your feet into the floor. And then step your feet comfortably wide, almost like a seated horse stance that you did earlier. Right. Invite that graciously tall spine, hands to heart center. We'll lean over to the left. So lean to your left, left forearm down onto your left thigh. Press down into the thigh so you can create more space in the left side of the body. Reach up with your right arm. Right arm's reaching up towards your ceiling. You could gaze neutral or turn your head towards your right hand. Relax in the jaw. Breathing open into the side bend, right side waking up a little bit more. And now press into your feet, rise up. And hands back to heart center. Breathe a breath here. And we'll go to the other side. So now lean to your right forearm down onto the right thigh. Notice if you start to sink into it and use your right forearm just enough to help create some space. Carve it out on the right side. And now with your left arm, sweep it up, reach it to the ceiling. Stay in this lateral lean. You could also add on turning your head any amount to look toward your left hand. Jaw relaxed. There's a little lateral and it's a little rotation coming into play. I love multitasking shapes. All right, friends, press into your feet, come back to neutral. Release your hands, soften through the shoulders. And now we'll turn towards the chair. We'll turn towards the table. So you may need to turn your chair if you're like me. All right. A resting forward fold. So as you sit in your chair, you're welcome to scooch back a little more now. It might even feel nice to have a pillow behind you. You can have your feet close together or step them wide if that was a comfortable shape for you. And now start to lean towards your table. You can move the chair closer, or like I have this little TV tray I can bring in closer for me. Stack your forearms and rest your forehead on your arms. Notice your feet landing into the floor. Give yourself permission to adjust your legs in any way if that translates to more comfort and ease into your hips and your lower back. Even if this also means that you realize you're too far away or too close to the support in front of you, and maybe adapt slightly. Navigate your needs, take care of you. Head supported on your arms if it's available and comfortable for you. Eyes closed. And sense some softness into the face, the jaw, the side of the neck. Noticing your spine leaning forward and the columns of muscles on either side of your spine. And from the top of your shoulders down towards your hips, sense a little more softness into those muscles. And then down your hips. Notice your legs, your knees, down your shins to your feet, feet touching the earth, supported here. I'll be quiet for 4 more breaths as you experience this moment of rest. Sensing your breath. On your next exhale, notice your feet pressing down. On an inhale, start to lift head and body away from the table. Recalibrate here, bringing your head back over the heart, heart over the hips, hips over the earth. Adjust your legs, adjust your seat in any way. And we'll transition into one more breathing practice. Bumblebee breath, or the humming breath. Feel free to keep your hands comfortably on your legs, or if you'd like, again, bring a hand to your belly, a hand to center of your chest. Eyes can be gently open, or feel free to close your eyes again. And start to bring your attention mindfully to the breath and its natural shape changing. That rhythm that is you. Humming breath invites in sound on the exhalation. A sound that can be created from a tone of a pitch that resonates for you today. Now, watching your breath after your next exhale, invite an inhale through the nose. With an exhale, hum gently. Your body will sense when it's time to inhale. Inhale comfortably with ease. Exhale, hum. Inhale. Hum. About 4 more times. Keep it going. Maintaining a sense of softness in the structure of face and jaw, and the structure around the periphery, through the trunk, the arms, the legs. And allow the humming bumblebee breath to bring in that gentle stimulation. For many, that stimulation of the buzzing is soothing to the nervous system. Notice what you notice. Last 2 breaths. With your next inhale, invite the breath in, out through your mouth, sigh it out, mindfully releasing that practice. Feel free to keep your hands as they are or readjust your seat. Grab a sip of water if needed. And now Laurel will guide us in this space of mindfulness into a meditation. Thank you, friends.
Thank you, Heidi. Perfect transition into our guided meditation now. Heidi's led us inward to this interior interoception of being in the present moment. And now we're going to, for about 10 to 12 minutes, have a guided meditation. And there's going to be more silence during the guided meditation so that you can just be in the practice with yourself without my voice, so that you can be with noticing, observing with kindness and compassion, thoughts, feelings, sensations in the body, discomfort, and observing them, and then coming back to the breath again and again. So I'll lead you through my voice for probably around 6 minutes or so, maybe a little less, and then we'll have, probably 7 or so minutes of silence. So you can practice what you've learned. Okay. So again, with this tall but soft spine, so that you can feel the energy flowing through your body, and your legs uncrossed if they're crossed. And close your eyes now if that's comfortable, or a soft gaze is good too. Just something a little bit more quiet with the eyes. So now let's just notice our next inhalation through the nostrils. Is it cool or warm? In the next exhalation, is it cool or warm? Noticing that slight pause in between the inhalation and exhalation. Now observing the breath without any judgment, allowing the breath to flow as it will, without holding or forcing it in any way. Gently flowing, like the soft waves on the ocean. Easy in, easy out. Nowhere to go, and nothing to do. Just being here present now. Maybe noticing the temperature of your room against your skin. Maybe your clothing against your skin. And gently bringing your awareness to your feet, your soles of your feet, grounded into the earth. Imagining as best you can, you had roots like a tree, grounding you deeply into the earth. And sensing that these roots bring you stability, groundedness, and strength. Maybe a sense of oneness with nature. Now gently breathing these qualities up through your left leg, calf, thigh to hip, and your right leg, calf, thigh to hip. And feeling the full weight of your body on what you're sitting now. Now guiding your awareness to your next thought and observing that thought with kindness and compassion, without judgment. Maybe observing if it's a present thought or past. Is it heavy or light? Is it soft or sharp? Just with some curiosity. Yes, look at that thought. And when you're ready, whenever that is, gently bring your awareness back to your breath, feeling it in your body. And maybe you notice you were holding your breath a little, and then you need a kind of a deep breath to reset. And then you get back into your natural flow. Noticing your next thought now, if there is one, and observing it just the way we did with that first thought. Taking your time. With a sense of kindness and compassion for yourself. And when you're ready, gently guiding your awareness back to your breath again, beginning anew each time. Maybe now you notice, or not notice, or notice a particular feeling in your body, particular emotion. And then just noticing that, maybe where it is in the body. If it's in your middle of your chest, your throat, belly, head, wherever that emotion is, if you're feeling one now, and just observing that as well, without any judgment or of good or bad feeling, just observing the feeling with kindness, low feeling. Is it heavy or light, sharp or soft, big or small? And maybe even noticing how it moves in your body or through you, like the gentle waves on the ocean. And again, when you're ready, at your pace, gently guide your awareness back to your breath and your body. Mm. Take a scan of your body and notice if you're feeling any tension or discomfort in any part of your body. Maybe readjusting your sitting a little bit and maybe guiding the awareness of your breath to that area. Imagining as best you can that your breath could breathe into that area to help soften it with some kindness and compassion. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. What do you need? Allowing the breath to help. And at your rhythm, guiding your awareness back to your breath again. Now we'll practice this for the next few minutes or so. Noticing when you're in a thought, observing. Noticing when you're in a feeling, observing. Or bodily sensation. And then at your own pace, after you've observed enough, just gently guiding your awareness back to your breath. And we'll do that in silence for a few, five minutes or so. Thank you. Very gently guiding your awareness back to your room, to your breath, into your feet grounded into the earth, and slowly opening your eyes when you're ready, if they're closed. And just noticing now, take a little self-inquiry. How am I feeling? What do I notice? What am I aware of? And it's all okay. Whatever you're aware of is all okay. There's no judgment. Hmm. We're going to gently guide you into a compassion meditation with Julie now. Thank you.
Thank you, Laurel. So it's good to do the compassion meditation after doing our grounding meditation or the yoga breathing that we did with Heidi. So here we're going to focus more on joy, a more uplifted compassion meditation. And we can begin by thinking of someone that we care about who, just thinking of them creates a warm feeling, not a complicated relationship. And imagine someone who something is going well for that person. Maybe they, have a new person in their life or, seem to really be enjoying their hobbies or a well-earned vacation. Think about that person, bring them to mind, and try to share their joy. Feel that sense of warmth arise when you think about your loved one happy and enjoying the things they love about life. You can imagine that this continues on this trajectory, that they continue to find joy and happiness in their lives, and whatever specific things bring them joy and happiness. You wish them more of that, or you can use a prayer if you prefer. Try to intensify that feeling, not worrying if if you're not feeling it today, or some days are different than others. And then returning to that sense of groundedness, even with a positive emotion. It's good to kind of rein in, center. And now think of someone you don't know very well, a neutral person that might also have, maybe you saw something that they shared on social media. You're like, oh, good for them. I don't know them very well, but I'm happy that they're enjoying this vacation or their grandkids or whatever. Imagine them happy and joyful. Vicariously sharing their joy, their sense of awe, their sense of love. Intensifying that feeling as much as you can, and reining back in, gathering that attention back. And now, this kind of widening circle, beginning with us here, that we can all experience some joy, the sunshine today, activities that bring a spark or a glimmer of warmth and meaning, all and love. And don't leave yourself out. Also imagine that you can experience the joyful aspects of your life. And if that ever becomes a challenge, think about your loved one again and how they would also feel that warmth if they saw you enjoying life. Intensify as you grow that to expand beyond our circle here to the city that you're in, the people watching this later, asynchronously. The people in our region of the country and the whole nation and the world, radiating this appreciation of the joys of our existence. Wishing that people can continue experiencing happiness and joy. Without now continue resting in that feeling. See if you can rest in it without thinking of anyone in particular, just almost like that joy radiating out as a wish or prayer. And then gathering that attention back in, feeling ourselves grounded. You can place attention on the breath, like the meditation from Laurel, or you could even do one of the 3-part breath Heidi instructed, or the humming breath to really feel grounded in your body. I'm going to do 3-part breath. And one final breath, releasing any tension. And coming back to the room. I'm going to do a short little science review. One that just brings in, you can bring out your lunches if you use this time to eat as kind of a lunch and learn. This is going to review from the previous weeks the main points that mindfulness has shown to be an effective life aid for those open to trying it. It's not a magic bullet, for it can cause remediation of symptoms of anxiety, depression, and pain, as well as symptoms of other disorders, but it's not a band-aid. It doesn't always work, and it's not a miracle cure that's at the snap of a finger, nor is any other treatment, right? It goes beyond relaxation to tackle our reactivity. So if you remember that Pittsburgh study where they took people out of work and assigned them to a 3-day mindfulness or relaxation retreat, only the mindfulness changed the amygdala, that reactive part of your brain. And it correlated with the cortisol, which is the stress hormone. So reduced cortisol, reduced amygdala connectivity, less reactive. So it's going more to the root cause of our anxiousness and rumination, as Laurel sometimes talks about, that catastrophizing, adding suffering. If you remember this crazy slide, even people who had never learned meditation before, just doing 20 minutes, which we've done even more than that today of meditation and yoga, was regulating the genes that are good for long-term health and down-regulating the ones that are bad for long-term health. Those bad genes aren't just bad. They're good for immune responses and running away from tigers, but they're going to wreak havoc on your body in terms of causing aging and cortisol release. That's really bad for our health. So meditation also involved cultivating a mental strength and less reactivity in the amygdala, which is here. But when compassion meditation was done, you do get amygdala activation. And that's because we do feel bad for someone. We feel a kind of pain in our, I feel your pain, right? But then you get this dopamine release. You get a reward for feeling good about caring, feeling good about creating a wish, and even more so for doing something that helps. So you're stepping yourself into being able to rein it in, to create that mental stability, to reach out further. So sometimes you need that really clear head, and sometimes you need to reach out and care and connect with others. And so, we did, when doing these practices, if you are going to be cultivating that compassion or joy or loving kindness, sandwiching it between the grounding practices, whether breath or doing the meditation. I keep hitting the wrong key. And so again, if we're exposed to tragic things in the news or things that we encounter in the day, something that kind of, breaks our heart a bit, we can know that we can reach out and still ground ourselves and still be okay. We also looked at some of the research on yoga and found that it can be beneficial for a variety of health conditions, not just in the mental strengthening and flexibility that are cultivated, but it directly decreases the inflammation that exacerbates so many symptoms. The reason why we pop, an ibuprofen or something, it's a much more organic and effective way of balancing body and mind. And we saw this fun on the alternate nostril breathing, that you're balancing that sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, that kind of more alertness to more relaxation, so we can find our center. And finally, I wanted to address circling back to our first week where I talked about, making sure we don't harm. Doing mindfulness alone and really super concentrating could increase your anxiety. If you're feeling like I got to stamp out all my thoughts, that's going to, potentially cause problems. The other one that's a little more subtle is if you have a tendency to want to numb your emotions or have that dimension of burnout, which is called depersonalization or desensitization, those types of objectifying patients, that can be mindfulness alone without doing the compassion, without doing the yoga, could increase that numbing tendency. So one has to be careful about that. That's been shown in studies to be one of the most common adverse effects, and that's usually when it's not done in balance. So also, if you get really enthusiastic about mindfulness, retreats are great. They're a great way to really get in the mode, but be careful that some of those long retreats without yoga, make sure it has yoga included, and make sure that you have access to instructors, because without that, you could run into some trouble. So feel free to ask us if you have a question between the three of us. I'm sure we have some knowledge about whether it's a Christian mindfulness retreat or whether it's a yoga retreat. Between the three of us, we probably can know about it or could look into it and answer any questions in your practice or about retreats. Now we can maybe open up. We only have about 5 minutes, but maybe addressing some. Let me unpin myself so that we can all be. I have a cold and I'm just feeling. Ooh, multi-pin. I don't know. I can't do it. No, I don't know.
No, we're all good. We're all here.
Okay.
Yeah, we're all here. We're all here. And like Julie said on one of the slides, we're always going to have thoughts. So there's no goal to be attained, like, oh, no thoughts, no feelings. No, that's not human. It's just observing it, acknowledging it without judgment, guiding your awareness back to your breath, and then again and again and again. And some days I have a gazillion thoughts, and other days I just have a few. It really varies, right? Julie, how about you?
Oh yeah. I mean, sometimes I have, the same thought come up over and over. And then sometimes I will just get up and take a little walk, maybe splash some water on my face and maybe start again fresh in another couple minutes. And, those things can really help. Really, cozy in a nice blanket and really like allowing yourself to relax if feeling anxious or, taking a brisk walk if you feel really tired. There's things that can help.
Mm,
I'm sure there are some yoga practices as well that can help for different situations.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I really appreciate, Laurel, how you, even today, my thoughts were many during your meditation, and that kind reminder, oh, hey, I thought, cool. I have a creative thought. Because I was having more creative thoughts on some projects. I'm like, oh, wait, okay, cool. That was a cool thought. Remember that later. Bring it back in. And I was using my Ujjayi breath at times too to help me stay a little more centered throughout the meditation with Laurel. So I was really listening to my breath and feeling that Ujjayi breath. We did a more active Ujjayi today with that, moving the arms out and in, but that soft breath that creates that little constriction in your vocal cord, you can do in and out through your nose. We practiced that in week 2 if you want to go back to that and review. Yeah.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. Any questions of any confusion? Anything you need more clarity on or validation? Or how to create a space? I have a space in my office here that's very conducive to meditating. I have beautiful things, incense. I like incense, so that it pulls me in to want to meditate. So go ahead, Julie.
Well, I was also going to say our classes that we have are an opportunity to like something comes up a little later, like, wow, for some reason I was on a roll and now this issue has come up, or I'm trying to do these yoga, shapes and I feel I all of a sudden have trouble with my shoulder, we're available as resources.
Anything in the chat, Heidi? Did you see something?
There's a couple gratitude that thank you for the series. Thank you for the class. Much appreciated. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, sweet. Yeah. Yeah. Now our poll is up. If you could do the poll before you go, so we can learn and grow from class to class.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd really appreciate that. Yeah.
And there will be one more set of Qualtrics questions that can allow you to, give a little feedback on the course as well,
Yeah. Yeah.
where you can write, I think.
Good. Yeah. 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 Okay. Well, we want to honor your time. It's 1:00. Thank you all for coming. We'll have Mindful Steps Part 2 in the spring.
Yes.
We'll have another class. You'll get a reminder about this in December, early December,
Mhm.
on how to get you through holiday stressors. And so hopefully see you then. And then in our meditation classes that Julie, Heidi, and I do.
Yeah.
That's also on the Wellness Wire.
And know that these are going to be part of a badge that we're creating, a Mindful Ambassador badge. So this session is going to be part of that, and you can watch it asynchronously again in the future if you want to, or if you filled out the Qualtrics questions, that will count towards it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Have a wonderful week.
Coming. Yes.
Maybe I'll see some of you on Monday.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you all.
Bye, friends.